That was Blue October. They're known for being very open and honest with not only their lyrics but their fans also. I had the privilege to get to interview them, and it was a very intense conversation. So, from the first album, The Answer, to your newest album, Approaching Normal, what kind of growth have you gone through? What kind of changes from then until now? Because it's been quite a few years.
17 to 34, there's some growth right there. A few more chest hairs, a little bit more wrinkles, a little bit more weight than losing, than gain than lose. But as far a lot of personal things that have happened to each one of us that have fueled our fire to write more honestly and stuff. So for me, lawsuits from dumbass managers from the past that want to get rich quick when they realize I'm not rich. For Matt, just having kids and being on the road for me too, you know, and for C, I mean, I can't speak for you, but I mean, he's
I mean, you've changed. I mean, I was
He's
what,
married
20,
now.
26, 25 when I started doing this. So I was just fresh out of college, and so I was, you know, back then it was a lot. It was we just partied, had a great time, and it's like there's no responsibilities really. It's like we're playing a band, let's just go out and have fun, and you know now it's different. You know, we're in our mid-30s and things have changed. Like we have families. I got married recently, and it's just like finally you realize that you have to grow up.
I think that musically, from when I first joined the band in late '98, early '99, which was the second record, to me it just feels like all the change, you know, thus far has been very natural. Like one thing that this band prides itself on is being sort of a genre-bending band, you know, where we want to always do something new. We don't want any records to sound exactly the same. You know, you don't want this formula that people get sick of. You want to be honest, and you want it to represent where you're at in your life, but you also don't want to force it. You know, you don't want to do change just for the sake of change. Like I was talking to somebody about that earlier today, where they were like, you know, well, so do you unpurposely do the record to be different than the last record? And I was like, no. I mean, there's material that we put on each record that's yeah. There's songs that are 20 years old that we'll bring back up because it just feels like the right time to do them, you know? Right. So to me, it just feels like everything is very natural and you have to let it be.
And for your fans,
Only
and
for them.
they a lot of people, you know, connect with your lyrics and with your music, and you have a lot of strong, especially because of this tour, Pick Up the Phone, and trying to raise awareness for everybody. And what do you want them to take from your music, or if you could say anything to them, what would be your advice for them?
I'm standing on a stage with a microphone in my hand, probably going through the worst, most lowest point in my life right now. And I'm asking for their help to keep me going. So every day is a struggle for me, and my friends around me keep me going, but it's probably the absolute biggest time of my life. And doing these tours and seeing people come up to me and going, just one more day, I made it through today, and then give me a big hug and stuff like that. They have no idea, but they're doing it for me right now, like, like crazy. Really, they are.
So tell us, how's the tour going so far?
It's going really good. We're getting to speak to a lot of people that we did the East Coast leg of the Suicide Awareness Tour, Pick Up the Phone tour, a while back, and now we're doing the West Coast, and it's a lot of eye-opening experiences that we've had so far. Like the Golden Gate Bridge was just I didn't realize that's what I was up for when I went and did it. You know, it was like they want me to be a spokesperson just because I'm bipolar and I take medication, and everybody's got issues, but I just happened to sing about it. So we went to this place under the Golden Gate Bridge, and there was thousands of shoes sitting there from victims, and just I think everybody in the band was like stumped. What do you think?
Yeah, it was very heavy for sure. I mean, it's like, and it was early in the day too, so it's like you just wake up and have a cup of coffee and walk out, and you're sort of faced with the harsh reality, you know, when something physical is placed in front of you like that. It's like, it's very real, and it's hard to ignore. You know, it's not just like hearing a story, like, you know, what was it,
little
200
kids,
and
like
some,
little kids' shoes too. Like the parents, we were so desperate they didn't know what to do. They took them with them, and there was like back in the 40s. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
And so it's a serious cause and a serious issue that we're talking about, and the thing that sucks about it is that 30,000 Americans every year die because there's no way to communicate it. And a perfect example is we ended up in Houston for the last show of our East Coast tour, and 8,500 people were there, and they could have been so inspired by this great meaning of spreading the word. And a guy named John Lomax wrote an article about basically saying, if you are suicidal to me, or saying if I have a disease, prove it. And that is, to anybody who's suicidal or thinking of hurting themselves, one of the scariest things that anybody could think of you. That means you're fake. You're doing it for attention. So it kind of wiped it all clean, everything that we had worked for. But then I thought, that's just the ignorance of some of the people in the world, and we have to still stand up and do it, and stand in front of those shoes and sing songs while parents cried. So it's a depressing thing, but we just want to communicate more.
For more information on mental health issues and suicide prevention, check out pleasedon'tjump.net. And to